Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're jumping right into a really thought-provoking piece by Oluyomi Ola-David called Opting for Fruits. We're going to walk through her insights on how we define success these days. Through her unique lens, she's actually challenging everything we've been taught about achievement. We'll look closely at her arguments to see exactly how she redefines what it means to lead a truly meaningful life. Okay, let's dive into this. It's the ultimate universal human problem, isn't it? What actually makes us happy? We literally spend our entire lives chasing these different goals, hoping that once we cross some invisible finish line, we'll finally feel content. But she asks us to pause and rigorously question those finish lines. I mean, are we even running the right race, or are we just exhausting ourselves for a fleeting feeling? Right out of the gate, she introduces her central thesis with this incredible, almost musical repetition. Climbing a corporate ladder will not keep you happy. She immediately challenges the modern rat race. For so many of us, that corporate ladder is the absolute symbol of progress. But she boldly states that this upward grind, it just doesn't have the power to sustain our happiness. It's a super powerful opening that sets the tone for a major paradigm shift. Section 1, The Illusion of Worldly Success. She lists these pursuits out with a deliberate pounding rhythm. Becoming famous will not keep you happy. Living in luxury will not keep you happy. Amassing sundry titles will not keep you happy. Even relocating abroad will not keep you happy. Notice how she uses that exact phrasing over and over for poetic emphasis. She is completely tearing down the traditional vision board of success, arguing that status, geography, and optics offer zero lasting joy. Now, what's really interesting to consider here is the direct contrast she draws. On the one hand, we have this endless, exhausting pursuit of making more money, which she firmly states will not keep you happy. But look at her alternative. Age-old prudence can. She really slows us down here. She replaces that frantic race for wealth with the calm, steady practice of prudence. The timeless wisdom of managing what you already have with care and foresight. She applies this exact same logic to career advancement. Getting a promotion is, it's external validation. It's someone else telling you that you're valuable. But she shifts the focus entirely inward and upward, suggesting that bearing righteous fruits can keep you happy. And that's where the title of her work, Opting for Fruits, really comes into sharp focus. It's about ethical outputs, integrity, and the moral quality of your actions, rather than just moving one step up the org chart. Section 2. Personal milestones falling short. This one is particularly striking. Society so often frames getting married as this ultimate happily ever after. But she argues that the mere social or legal act of getting married won't actually make you happy. The true fulfillment, she writes, comes from a unity of faith and spirit. She completely elevates the relationship from a societal checkbox to a deep, resonant spiritual partnership. The milestone itself isn't the prize, the spiritual unity within it is. And this brilliantly illustrates her core philosophy when applied to parenting. She writes that just having a child will not keep you happy, but raising a wise one can. See how she separates the biological event from the lifelong, intentional journey? It's not about the status of being a parent. It's about the profound, active responsibility of actually guiding a human being toward wisdom. We see this again when she tackles consumerism. We're constantly bombarded with the message that the next big purchase will finally satisfy us, right? But here, acquiring new things is juxtaposed right against godly contentment. She totally bypasses that temporary dopamine hit of buying something new, advocating instead for a profound, peaceful state of contentment that literally isn't reliant on material goods at all. Section 3. Opting for spiritual fruits. So the crucial point here is this: abiding in divine purpose can keep you happy. For her, purpose completely eclipses achievement. It's not about what you acquire or what title you hold. It's about anchoring your life in a divine intention and simply abiding, or, remaining steadfast right within that purpose. She expands on this faith-based perspective when talking about our social lives. Making many friends might make you popular, sure, but she argues it won't sustain your happiness. Instead, she points to remembering your Creator. She places the ultimate value on a spiritual relationship, prioritizing a connection with the divine way over the fleeting nature of social popularity. When we really distill her writings, these are the profound, intangible fruits she's advocating for: purity of heart instead of fame, amazing grace instead of amassing sundry titles, fulfilling eternal purpose instead of living in luxury. She's basically inviting us to adopt a strictly eternal perspective, looking way beyond the immediate gratifications of this world.
Section 4. Building a Better Nation.
Let's move on and see how this builds her broader worldview. Earlier, she dismissed climbing the corporate ladder for personal gain, but here, she contrasts it with building your nation. She's telling us that while selfish corporate ambition won't keep you happy, selfless national development actually can. She connects individual fulfillment directly to contributing to the greater good of society. And she applies this perfectly to governance. She notes, quite impartially, that voting another president will not keep you happy, but sustaining strong institutions can. This is such a fascinating political insight. She argues that true societal stability doesn't come from the temporary excitement of an election cycle or just swapping out a single leader. Real progress comes from the hard, sustained work of building unshakable systemic institutions. This is exactly why, when you look at the themes explored in her piece, you see tags like governance, economy, sustainability, and peace and transformation. Her vision starts with the individual heart, opting for spiritual fruits, but it ripples all the way outward to global transformation. It's just a deeply holistic way of viewing human existence. Section 5. Who is Oluyomi Ola-David? Looking at her background, we can see the sheer diversity of her output. She doesn't just write poetry. Her portfolio actually spans technical insights, contemplations, and even policy briefs. She has this incredibly unique ability to seamlessly blend the deeply spiritual and poetic with rigorous policy-driven analysis. In her own bio, she introduces herself so beautifully and simply. "I am a Nigerian and I love people." This quote wonderfully humanizes her. It completely grounds all of these vast philosophical and political concepts in her personal identity and just a fundamental, genuine love for humanity. Summarizing her drive, we see a woman deeply concerned about global development. She absolutely loves generating solutions and influencing policy to provide clarity. But at the very core of it all is her faith. She writes that her Father God owns and rules the universe, and she beautifully describes him as the wheel within her wheels. It's this profound spiritual grounding that clearly drives her entire desire to influence policy and heal society. Which brings us to the end of our explainer, and back to you. After exploring Oluyomi Ola-David's powerful contrasts between worldly pursuits and righteous outcomes, which fruits are you opting for in your own life? Are you just climbing a ladder, or are you building something that lasts? It's definitely a question worth carrying with you today. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and keep learning.